Okay, today we're playing a game on Hollywood. We are in the Gold SR range. We will be playing Sombra the entire way through. I apologize once again for the complete evaporation of all content. In my defense this time, I just recovered from losing my voice. So, there wasn't much I could do about that one, unless I wanted to do everything in text-to-speech, which would have been time-consuming, shall we say, at the very least. So, decided not to do that. Anyway, let's just start the game. Nice extendo on Sombra's arms right at the start. So we're up to no good. Wait, was this a console game? I think this was a console game. Hold on, I should check that right now, real fast. It's gonna be around here-ish somewhere. Oh god, there's so many emails. Oh no, oh god, here it is. This is console, yes, okay, there we go, we did it. Whew, what an ordeal that was. So, I don't know where we've got our translocator set up right now. Presumably, oh yeah, it's back over there. Back by the point, which is usually where it goes. Also, sorry for no sound, past me was watching a video, apparently, at the time. Such is life. So, Arissa's, like, onto us, but Arissa's also, like, almost dead. We didn't really need to translocate out right there. Like, Arissa was being healed by Lucio, which is, like, you know, it's gonna take a while. We could have stuck that one out for a little bit longer. Maybe kill her, you know, maybe not, whatever. At the very least, we would be occupying two of their people for a longer time, which would be nice, at the very least. So I just went back to see why we chucked our translocator. I don't know why we chucked it there. That doesn't really accomplish a whole lot as far as translocator placement goes. So we didn't do anything aggressive with it, and that was not going to get us out of danger either. Might have just been a mistake. So, didn't manage to kill the Arissa. You know, she's big, she's got health. That does work, by the way, if you're in, like, a bad situation as Sombra. Something that frequently works is you chuck your translocator straight up, and then you let it go for a little... You let it go for a little bit so you actually get some distance up, and then you stealth in the air, and they kind of have to guess where you're going to land. I've also noticed that past me's cursor is moving around on the screen. Now, I was doing something else over the window at the time, but it captured the mouse anyway. So that's probably going to be real annoying, especially if you hadn't noticed it previously. Now you're going to notice it. Haha. And it's okay. Look, it's all been a disaster. Tech issues, sickness, all kinds of shit's been going on. It's been terrible. So we just had a translocator, like, right there. It's not great efficiency-wise, because basically we translocate back there and then need to find health. Because the main goal with Sombra is pretty much to charge your ult as quickly as you possibly can, because Emp is, of course, extraordinarily strong. And a big part of that is just general efficiency, like how quickly you can get back out there again after you translocate back, because this is how it goes with Sombra, right? You put your translocator somewhere, you go off to shoot the bad men in the back, you translocate out when it gets scary again. You rinse repeat till you have your ult. We have our ult now, so we're just waiting to translocate in and do this, as you do. Unfortunately, we didn't get those 3 turrets right there with that Emp. That's very unfortunate. There's 3 turrets right fucking there. You know, life is hard sometimes. Anyway, so you want to get back out there as fast as you possibly can again. I'd also rather we just keep shooting Zarya right there, because her using her self-bubble right there isn't a big deal. We can just plow through it in that situation instead. There's nobody else to bubble. I'd rather just keep shooting her. Hacking her isn't super impactful right there. So anyway, we want to get back out there as soon as we can after the translocating back, which generally means you want the translocator to be somewhere where you can find some health afterwards, either near a health kit that you have hacked or not hacked, doesn't really matter usually, or like next to where your team is going to be, I guess, for a healer, but you can't really rely on your healer to heal you when you translocate back, you know, so it's better, like, you just want to get back out there again as quickly as you possibly can, which is why you generally want to put it near a health kit, and there's a consideration to be made by, like, which health kit you want to put it next to. Because you want it to be somewhere reasonably safe where they're not going to find your translocator, but you also want it to be close to where the action is likely to be, so that you can translocate, heal up, and then get back out there again as quickly as you possibly can. You want to minimize the period between excursions, pretty much, to maximize the amount of time you spend generating ult charge, because you win games as Sombra by emping people. You know, you can get picks on people and kill people, Sombra does good damage, but like, how are you winning games in Overwatch? You're winning games by ulting. That's just how it goes. So like, translocator there, you know, not super safe, and also like, gotta get all the way back again afterwards. We broke it anyway, just to use it there instead, probably thinking, I don't know if it got broken or if we broke it, actually, I shouldn't say that, I'm not sure. We're frozen right now, life is hard. By this point, it's not exactly looking good, you know, Baptiste's frozen under his lamp, getting fucked up, oh no, Reinhardt Earth Shattered just their soldier, we're in the Graviton, Blizzard happens. What can you do? The best you can do in that kind of circumstance is just try and get as much ult charge as you possibly can before you die, pretty much, because you are gonna die, it's just how it's gonna be. When you get graved, and then you're in the Blizzard after you get out of the grav, your life expectancy is not terribly high, unfortunately. So now, we're chucking it up there, like it's safe, but like again, it's not great for getting back quickly. Because now we gotta like find health or just go out there again not full health, which is scary, of course. When you're going out with 122 health, it's a little bit spooky, you know, it's a little bit scary. A couple of people are just kind of standing around on their side, so tremendous news for us. Hacking Zarya right there, tremendously not useful. Even if she wasn't AFK, I wouldn't have wanted to hack her right there, because like, Zarya's abilities are just usually not that impactful, you know? Like, you don't usually expect to get to drill Zarya to death, and if she bubbles you to stop you drilling her, like, it doesn't usually make a massive amount of difference. Because generally you don't get to just burr a tank to death as Sombra, you know? Anyway. Also, we didn't get out in time and died earlier, you know? Life is hard, whatever. So you want to make a consideration, you know, I've talked about getting back out there quickly, so what do you want to do? Well, you don't want to put it, like, next to this health kit, because this health kit is super risky, right? The enemy team's going to be pushing in pretty close to there. And you don't want to put it, like, on that health kit over there, because that's also not safe. They're going to see it just, like, pushing up. So, if I'm playing Sombra on this map, and I want to put my translocator somewhere aggressive, but also safe, I'll put it in the room behind that health kit. Because then you can go in, you translocate into the room, out of the way, it's safe. You can tuck it into one of the corners as well to like make it a little bit safer if you're afraid of them just like walking in and seeing it. And then it's really quick to heal up again to get back out there, because you can just go onto the health kit on your way out again, and then you're off to go. There's the risk they'll see you picking up the health kit. You know, but really, if I'm putting it there, I'm just thinking I want to get ult charge pretty much. I'm not too bothered if they see me pick the health kit up. They know I'm coming. If they're at third checkpoint and I'm playing Sombra, they know I'm coming, you know? But if I don't want to do that because I'm a little spooked, maybe I've done that one a couple times now and it's getting predictable, whatever. There's the small health kit back here. If you hack the small health kit, it's good enough. Putting it on the health kit, again, a bit risky. You can just put it behind the doorway or behind the boxes over there. It's out of sight, out of mind. And then you can just like pick up the health kit on the way back if you've hacked it, no problem. Even just like an unhacked small health kit is usually good enough for Sombra, but you can hack it, wait there, heal up, go back out again. And again, these are just 2 points that are very close, so you can get out there quickly. If you're real spicy, you could put it on the big health kit under their spawn door right now, because they're come down the staircase and there's the large health kit under that staircase. Real talk, if you put your translocator under that staircase, they're never going to check unprecedented, right? Like, they'll never just check that to see if your translocator is there. Nobody's thinking about it. So you can put it there, to be honest, like behind the boxes, behind one of the walls, I guess, as well if you want, just to make sure it's like they can't just like catch a glimpse of it on their way out, but like they're not gonna check. They're just gonna go straight for the doors again. So if you're feeling real spicy, you can put it out there and just use that large health kit on your way back out instead. But you want, you just want it to be quick, pretty much. If you want to put it behind them and aggressive, you could do like, but also safe, you could do like the jail, and there's the small health kits around there. So Bastion's here, and we're just gonna amp because we just hacked somebody and he's setting up, as you do. Unfortunately, we didn't catch the sound barrier with that, but not the end of the world. If they're amped, they're still not having a good time, sound barrier or not, after that point. Amp is just very scary like that. Oh, Bastion's still alive. What's he doing? What is my man's plan? What is my man's goal here? What, like... And he's walking with such purpose. Like, he's not like, oh, should I do this? Shouldn't I do this? He's like, this is what I'm doing. I'm going this way. What's my man's end goal here? What's he expecting to have happen? Maybe he thinks he's just gonna hop in that spaceship and then just fly away. Hidden map-specific ultimate for Bastion, right? He just attaches to the fucking spaceship or something. I don't know. He had a plan. I don't know what it was. But he had it, and I guess that's all you can really ask for, isn't it? Like, he had a plan, at least, which is more than you can say for a lot of people, if we're being honest. So we hack May. May is a tremendously good target to hack, because fucking May, am I right? Fucking May, dude. Both her abilities are very annoying. Especially now, with Cryo Freeze buff as well, where now if she's in Cryo Freeze, she's regenerating ammo while she's in there. They might be planning on that reload at this point as well, and then they can't reload either while they're in there. It can be very upsetting for them. So it's very brave for us to go for that boy. Hacking him was fine, no problem there. The continuing to chase after the guy and try to kill him, very risky when we had 35 health. But we fucking got him. And like I always say, if you don't get punished, you don't have to learn. So May's in there, she's tucked up, she's safe, we're not gonna kill her, very unfortunate. She's got her ult, so we really don't want to do that. Ooh, we actually lost that amp, that's very unfortunate. We just held it a little too long while things were getting sketchy right there. Understand wanting to wait for a little bit, but we're also walking towards the enemy team while we're trying to hold this as well. Because it went back a little bit far. We hack her, she got her ult, okay, we want to wait so that we can re-hack her again with the EMP ideally, but we're also just walking into their team, which is very scary considering there's a Bastion behind us. So a better play here would have been to... I know I had to go back again, I'm sorry, to illustrate what I'm thinking here. Rather than just trending into them, we can just like duck behind this corner here and then jump out once we're ready to EMP them after we've gotten a little bit more of the timer on May. Or we also could have just emped. Like, there's not necessarily an immediate reason to hold it, other than because we want to get extra value on keeping May hacked for longer. But Bastion's set up, Orissa's behind the shield, Zarya's there, she's full charge, May even gets bubbled, so we can scrape the bubble off her. We can take half of Zarya's health off. Bastion comes out of tank or out of turret form. Maybe we were just afraid of the range, and that's what we're trying to walk closer to do. In which case, ducking behind the corner is still better because we can be covered from the Bastion while we're trying to get closer to him and the Orisa, and then we poke out again. So either way, if that's the plan. If we're just trying to get closer to them, or we're trying to get extra time, ducking around the corner, better either way. Hacking Orisa, not ideal here. We were probably trying to hack Bastion, but Orisa was just on top of him. It happens. When you're trying to get them and they're all tucked together on the point, it can be very unfortunate. Hacking Bastion there, irrelevant. He's in tank form. Might as well just keep trying to shoot the guy, see if we can kill him. Hacking him does nothing at that point. He's already used configuration tank. But if we're being realistic, doesn't matter either way much, does it? Wasn't really gonna be the make or break outcome right there. But, So, attacking now. Attacking, usually a little easier is Sombra. Enemy team's not going anywhere. We see they've still got the Bastion. I don't like doing that. Because we've chucked that translocator to a position that's not ideal anyway. Like, if we're... Because right now, again, we're trying to build ult as quickly as we possibly can. Maybe the intention is to take the high ground and use it aggressively. I don't like that right now, really, because there's the Bastion there. He's the bigger concern right now. I'd rather just put the translocator, like, in the alleyway or something, you know, so it's near the big health kit back there, so we can just get back out here again quickly after we translocate away. And the other reason I don't like why we did this, if Bastion's paying attention, he just saws through this translocator. So he knows there's a Sombra now, and so he can immediately start checking for us, right? So, no guarantees paying attention, of course, but we just threw the translocator right across his line of sight because he's set up on the balcony over the cafe. So this gives us away. And right at the start of the round as well, like, they can't push tab and see that they have a Sombra right now. So, like, we just give away the fact we're here, and, like, Sombra, unknown Sombra is much scarier than known Sombra, you know? Oh god, we've gone all the way back to the start by accident, what a disaster. And I mean, we were playing Sombra the entire round previous, so it's not exactly a leap for them to assume that there's still a Sombra there, but like, you don't want to make it obvious at the same time, which chucking the translocator like this can do, as well as not being a great position regardless for what I want to do right now, which is harass Bastion. We start harassing Orisa instead. You know, Orisa's cool and all. The thing is, I really wanted to go for the Bastion as quick as possible right there, because I knew Bastion was alone. He had Orisa's turret, or Orisa's turret. He's Orisa's turret. He had Orisa's shield, but other than that, he was up there alone. So if we go up there and hack him, he's going to be real spooked, and he's not going to be happy about it, and we can, like, really pressure him at that point. Maybe get him off the high ground, if nothing else. So again, it took us a little while to get back out there again, but we're back out here, and now we're really on the Bastion. We killed Bastion with a little bit of help from Genji. Great, awesome. Bastion dead, fantastic news. Almost certainly planning to use that translocator just as, like, to get out from the upcoming fight, but again, we're, like, going in at 100 health, which is really spooky. But they don't have any burst damage, really, out here at this point anymore, because we're looking at, like, Orisa and Lucio. So, not super risky either. Even though we only had 100 health, I'm not really bothered about it, because there wasn't, like, a super bursty person around us at the time that we really have to worry about. Hacking Sim, not massively impactful. Doesn't really depend on her abilities that much. She already chucked 2 turrets. Like, not a huge hack. At that point, don't even bother trying to hack her. Like, she's in such a bad position, and Orisa is so easy to kill because she has such a big head. It's not even worth hacking her at that point. You might as well just try and kill her faster, because maybe you stop her using Fortify, but, like, even then, just fucking shoot the hoe. Like, she's so out of position, and her head is so big and easy to hit. Sombra does huge damage to Orisa. Like, she does damage to Orisa disgustingly fast, because Sombra does, like, pretty good damage in general. To the point where she's actually a pretty good nano boost target, assuming you have some degree of faith in the Sombra player. And Orisa's head is just so big, you know? Like, if Orisa's out of position like that, you might as well just go on her. Not super bad. Translocator position's kind of out of the way. It's reasonably safe. My concern is just getting out there again quickly, because we kind of have to find health after that happens. Fantastic news. Enemy Sombra got slept, so we could hack her while she was on the ground and then just shoot her. So she can't translocate away. Oh, this was open queue. They've got fucking 4 DPS right now. I'm sure the email said that as well, and I just didn't notice it. Apologies. It's open queue, as it turns out. Anyway, it's kind of turning into a fuck at this point regardless. Someone on their team is like, well, fuck it, if they're gonna have Sombra, I'm gonna play Sombra, you know? You ever have that happen where you're playing one of the less popular heroes like Sombra, and someone on the enemy team changes them, like, just like, well, fuck it, if they're gonna play it, I'm gonna play it. Any excuse, right? Like, any excuse to play this not popular hero that I like, you know, or this not meta hero that I like, well, they've got one, I'm gonna fucking play it. Fuck them, you know? Which is, of course, the coward's way of doing it. You just do it, right? Very unlikely that a hack was ever going to work. I'd rather just get out at that point, because Reaper doesn't exactly have to try hard to shoot you to stop the hack, you know? We're going out with 80 health. Probably thought we picked up the second health kit and just didn't notice. But we're going out with 80 health right there. Very scary. Don't want to do that. Especially when we might, like, come around a corner into a Reaper. He could just one-shot us at that point very easily. So, they've got a Torbjorn now as well, which is annoying. It's actually quite annoying when you are playing against Torbjorn as Sombra, because fucking Borb's turret you have to worry about that before you can really worry about anything else. You know, like, you kind of have to get rid of it unless you can, like, play around its line of sight. Because it's gonna stop your hack, and it's gonna be really fucking upsetting, and it's gonna be really annoying. We're just waiting to emp right now. Clearly, we're just kind of hovering around trying to get a good emp off here. And here we go. They're fucking dead. You know, they're hacked, they're in the graviton, and they're purple. They're not having a good time. It's really bad for them. Actually, only 2 people died in that graviton, which is better than they deserved. They're still, like, horribly fucked for this fight. Like, it doesn't matter if you recover from that inciting incident. You're not in a good position for the rest of the fight regardless. So they still died, but, you know, it was a little less commanding than I was expecting it to be. I would have also been surprised he was there, so I'm not gonna judge you too much for that. Like, he's in the fucking alleyway behind the jail. Alright, fucking Bastion shows up in the wackiest places, you know? It's fine. We were a little, like, slow. We weren't really doing very much, which you don't want to do. You know, efficiency as much as possible, but I'm not gonna be too upset about the Bastion, you know? Sometimes Bastion's in a weird spot and you die as a result. Such is life. Ooh, Reaper. Yep, that got spooky. That's a fair translocate out right there. Even though we were full health, ooh, Reaper can kill you real fucking fast. We did decide to re-engage in that, like, really dramatically, considering we didn't have a translocator, and it was still on cooldown. Because that could have gotten real bad real fast, and we weren't going to be able to get out. We could have just stayed on this rooftop and fired down at them from high ground. Like, this kind of range on high ground, Sombra's weapon's going to be just fine. So we didn't need to jump down to get into that. We could have stayed up on the high ground, especially while we were waiting for our translocator to come off cooldown, if nothing else. He's still here. I like how he doesn't even attempt to fight back. He's like, nope, I'm just fully turning tail and running. Which is, by the way, the correct thing to do. That was very greedy to keep chasing after him. We were not full health right there. Very easy to suddenly die, as we saw. Very greedy. But, you know, you want to win a game, you gotta be a little greedy, I guess. But, very greedy. Anyway, if you are running away from somebody, by the way, it is better to just fully turn tail and run away from them because you move slower going backwards. This is why it always feels like Reinhardt catches up to you if you're backing away from him, because he's running 10% faster than you are going backwards. So, if you are trying to run away, you do want to just fully turn tail and run if you don't have any hope of fighting back. I would rather wait for that wall to go down before we use that emp, because that's going to make the line of sight for our team coming in more inconvenient. So I'd rather wait for the Mei wall to go down before we emp, if we can get away with it. As we can see, we're about to run out of time in the game, so we probably felt a little pressured, but ideally I'd like to wait for that wall to go down. So it's getting a little spooky. So I don't really want to hack anybody that isn't Bastion right now, to be honest with you. Because he's, like, kind of my pivotal concern, really. Mei is, of course, upsetting. Reaper's upsetting. These are good hack targets, but, like, Bastion is my main concern right now, so I kind of want to hack him instead. Right now, Genji's actually using Dragon Blade, so I feel it is now more justified to hack Mei to try and get her off the point faster, but Bastion is still, like, real fucking spooky. And, life is hard, we didn't get him. I don't want to leave it on the dark screen, because my, green screen is already kind of bad, and it doesn't really like when the monitors are on something dark, either. Yeah, look, just like nestled nice and tight inside of Genji's armpit. Delightful. Anyway, so I can't think of an overarching thing that stood out, because we talked about a lot of, like, disparate things, really. But, no, I guess the biggest thing would be, like, I don't like how we used our translocator to, like, get out of situations, just because we put them in positions that are bad for, like, uptime. Pretty much. You want to get out there again quickly. I already talked about that like 1,000 times, so I'll not belabor the point, but I guess that was the biggest thing, but we did talk about a few different things. Yeah, so thank you very much for watching if you did. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. More than happy to answer. If you haven't already, you can join our Discord and ask questions more directly and have a conversation about them, or just shitpost with us. I start should be on Twitch Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, 8 p.m. EST to 11 EST. There's a link to the channel in the description. If you managed to make it all the way through the video and somehow still enjoyed it, please like the video and subscribe for more content of middling quality in the future, and I hope you found the video helpful.